Well guys, DICE has actually implemented a patch for Battlefield 1 that significantly changes the gunplay. I honestly thought this day would never come. I thought Battlefield 1 was a lost cause if you really didn't enjoy the gunplay or some of the time to kill mechanics in this game. But this latest CTE patch has actually skewed the time to kill mechanics for many of the weapons out there. This patch has increased the minimum and maximum damage for most guns in the game, reducing the time it takes to kill your opponent in close quarter firefights and even medium range firefights. Many of the LMGs and SMGs that used to take 5 shots to kill your opponents will now take 4 shots. This makes things faster, gives you a bit more killability with your weapons, and allows you to move on from one target to the next, potentially getting, dare I say it, 2 kills per magazine before needing to reload. Now obviously you can get 2 kills per magazine depending on what weapon you're using before this patch, but a lot of weapons out there were really relegated to 1 kill, switching to a sidearm to try and finish up a secondary target, or trying to dive behind cover to get a reload off before engaging the next enemy, putting you at a huge disadvantage against them. This patch is going to make a big step in the right direction to reducing these sort of weird gameplay situations. The intent of this damage increase is to also try and dethrone the Automatico and shotguns from completely dominating everybody in close quarters. Really, there wasn't a huge reason to use some of the other SMGs in CQB combat because of how damn effective the Automatico was by comparison. Now a lot of the other SMGs should be much more interesting and there should be more reason to use them. It's not to say the Automatico is dethroned from being one of the best close quarter and easiest to use weapons in the game, but there's just going to be a lot of more viable options out there. The LMGs especially, I really enjoyed using the Shosha, the BAR, and the Lewis machine gun. They all felt insanely effective, and I thought they were pretty decent to begin with, but now they are strong contenders against a lot of the assault weapons for close quarter damage, and bipoded and even standing, they're beasts at medium range. All have seen increase to their maximum damage and minimum damage. Shotguns have also seen a major overhaul. This isn't going to make shotguns more powerful necessarily than they currently are, but it's going to take a lot of the RNG factor out of them. Maybe not a lot of you guys know this, but the shotgun spread is very, very random in Battlefield 1, or at least it has been. Before, you could get shotgun spread that would heavily favor the left or right side of where you're aiming. This means that if you're aiming center mass, a lot of your shots could barely tag your target, or if you're aiming slightly to the right of your opponent and all your shots favored the left side of your crosshair, you could get a one-shot kill with bad aim. This isn't really a good way of balancing or designing shotguns in a video game, despite the fact that this can be an attribute of realistic shotgun spread. It doesn't make for good gameplay. And so what they've done is they've designed the shotgun pellet spread down into 12 different sectors, 6 inner circle sectors and 6 outer circle sectors, and all the pellets are going to be evenly spread within those sectors. They might have random placement within those sectors, but it means that not too many of the pellets can favor one side of the shotgun spread versus the other. This means that the spread isn't going to be completely symmetrical every time you fire it, but it's going to heavily favor the inner circle rather than the outer circle, or heavily favor the left or right side. This should reduce the random one-shot kills that you get from crappy aim, and it should reward better aim with shotguns in general. This is a very big upgrade, something that I've kind of been complaining about in Battlefield games for a long time, as we've seen this mechanic existing not just in Battlefield 1, but many of the previous Battlefield titles. Hopefully this design philosophy carries over into all future Battlefield games, and we can sort of wash our hands of crappy random shotgun deviation once and for all. Now, to try and summarize what's happened to each class, the Assault class has gotten a lot of SMG upgrades for just about every SMG other than the Automatico, although the Automatico did get a slight buff to its ranged damage, but it shouldn't be doing any more damage in close quarter combat. So this is going to make the other SMGs more viable when compared to the Automatico. It's also gotten the shotgun upgrade that we just talked about. When it comes to the support class, pretty much every major machine gun has gotten a minimum damage boost and a maximum damage boost, allowing them to pretty much shave one shot off of each kill in close quarters and at long range. This is a huge change to the support class, and if you liked the support class before, you're going to like it even better now. Personally, I loved playing the support before with the BAR or the Madsen machine gun. Now I think just about all the machine guns are very viable to play with, despite being slightly outdamaged by many of the SMGs in extreme close quarters. At medium range, the support class is a total beast, and if you've got a wall to put that bipod down on, prepare to start tearing apart your targets at range. Now when it comes to medic rifles, if you're used to playing the medic but also used to zooming in on your targets at range and seeing your shots miss even when you're aiming perfectly accurately, hopefully that's going to be reduced significantly after this patch. The minimum spread of pretty much every SLR, self-loading rifles, has been reduced, so they should be accurate, and also the spread increase per shot has been reduced by 50%. This means you can fire medic rifles faster while losing accuracy at a lower rate. So this should make them significantly more effective at range. In addition to that, the damage drop-off has been sent way out there, so now they're going to be much more effective at further ranges. They're going to make medics far better counters to snipers at longer ranges, and this is to try and, I guess, balance the medics so it really has much more of a place at medium and long ranges compared to some of the other weapons out there. I like this addition to the medic class. It's a really good upgrade. I do, however, think that medics are going to be losing a lot more firefights and close range engagements now because of the huge buff to assault and support class weapons. And this is going to make them less ideal to play on close quarter infantry intensive maps. I mean, the medic does have a few close range weapons that aren't terrible. In fact, they have some decent weapons, but the skill curve for those is high enough that I think it's going to be really hard for the average medic player to compete with some of the new and improved weapons for assault and support. So I think it'd be interesting if DICE took this one step further and started looking at some of the medic weapons to giving them faster TTKs in close quarters. Still making them great at long range, and I'm not saying make them better than assault or support weapons in close quarters, but just look at a few of them and mess around with some of that close quarter damage stats just a little. I would certainly appreciate it, as in my time playing I did enjoy the medic, but mostly when I was using like the Mondragon sniper at further ranges. Close range, I just was not enjoying it at all. Now when it comes to the scout class, we haven't seen any upgrades or changes to the sniper rifles so far. For the most part, I am okay with this, but there is one thing that still irks me about the scout class, and that is the arm multiplier in this game. If somebody's running perpendicular to you so that like their shoulder or something is the closest part of their body to you, and you aim perfectly at their torso and hit them with a sniper rifle, that's going to give you a huge damage reduction. So you'll be doing about 60 damage there, which means when you switch to your sidearm to finish them off after your perfectly aimed shot hits them, you're going to need 1 to 2, maybe even 3 shots to finish them depending on how far away they are. I hope that DICE gets rid of the arm shot multiplier in this game to try and balance out the damage consistency of the sniper class, as there's just too many arm shots in this game that are actually perfectly aimed torso shots that in real life, you know, would pass through the arm and go directly into somebody's torso, inflicting massive damage, probably fatal shots. But in Battlefield, they're actually, your arms act as sort of an armor for you. They got rid of this in Rainbow Six Siege, as it was resulting in a lot of inconsistent time to kills, and I think they should do the same in Battlefield 1. This wouldn't be a huge upgrade for the sniper class. It would just make it a bit more consistent with TTKs when switching to your sidearm to finish off kills. And to be honest, the arm multiplier I think should just be gone for all classes. It affects the scout class more than any other class, and that it's more apparent when it's affecting your gameplay negatively. But for the most part, every other class out there is being affected by this as well. So just getting rid of arm multipliers would be a good way of solving this problem overall. Now, one last thing here, as if these massive weapon damage changes weren't big enough changes to the core gameplay of Battlefield 1, they've also reverted Conquest to the way it used to be. Well, not 100%. The ticket system still counts up instead of bleeds down like it used to, but they've changed it so now teams have to control a majority of flags in order to get points for them. So this is a huge change. It means that once a team is ahead by 300 tickets or so, it doesn't give them a guaranteed win. And the very first game I joined into, we were down by about 300 tickets and we had an awesome comeback. It was like playing a great game of Conquest on Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, and having this new system implemented is such a nice breath of fresh air, or I guess old air in this case. One small critique is that some games can last up to 50 or 60 minutes. I think they need to change the ticket increase rate a little bit just to make games closer to 30 minutes. Other than that, it feels like DICE is finally listening to what a lot of the core community has wanted with Battlefield 1 for a long time. This is probably one of the biggest changes to Battlefield 1 since launch, and I can't wait to see it implemented in the vanilla game. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.